Alright, you are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. One of my dreams that I'm never going to live now was to one day go to Ireland, the motherland, the home of the Boyles. Go to an ancient bar there, a bar that's been there for 300 years or some shit. Slam some Guinnesses, get to know the bartender. It gets to closing time. The band's still going. It's a traditional Irish band. They've got a fiddle and shit. They've got 2 fucking fiddles. There's 2 guys with fiddles and they're just having a fucking fiddle off. They're weaving in and out of each other like fucking Ronnie Woods and Keith Richards. The place is still packed. The bartender goes, fuck it. Everyone's high. Everyone's loving it. He locks the door. It's a lock-in now. Everyone's hugging. Everyone's cheersing. There's Guinness flying everywhere. And then the band starts playing. The lead singer gets on the microphone and he goes, "This goes out to my man Boyle. It's a song I know he loves. It's called Dirty Old Town." And the entire bar is in silence. And everyone looks at me. And I've got a single tear rolling down my right cheek. And then he starts, "I met my love by the gasworks croft. Dreamed a dream by the old canal." And then it hits the chorus. "Dirty old town, dirty old town." We're all in arms. Guinness is flying. I'm crying. The bartender's crying. The lead vocalist is crying. It's a moment. I'm back where I belong. That's got to be my favorite song. I fucking love Dirty Old Town. If I could choose a song to listen to for the rest of my life, if it just had to be one song, it would be Dirty Old Town. And it would be the different versions of it as well, because different versions of it are for different things. Like there's the Pogues version. "I met my love by the gasworks wall. Dreamed a dream by the old canal." That Pogues version of Dirty Old Town, that's a drinking version. That's the bar version. If you're fucking 15 beers deep, you turn on the Pogues Dirty Old Town, and your night is now taken to another level. It's electric. There's another version by Luke Kelly from the Dubliners. It's a live version. You got to watch it on YouTube. Type in Luke Kelly, Dirty Old Town. He's in front of a fucking crowd, and the crowd must have been rowdy as fuck, because at the start of the song, he's like, "Listen, you've been yelling out all night. Now I'm going to sing a song. It's a very simple fucking chorus. Do you reckon you can sing along with me? You've done enough yelling. Now sing along." The song is Dirty Old Town. And everyone cheers, and then he just fucking lights it on fire. "I met my love by the gasworks croft. Dreamed a dream." He fucking kills it, that red nut. But that version, that's for going to war. Like if you're going to war, play that. Or if you need to get pumped before the big final. Or if you're about to fight, play the Luke Kelly version of Dirty Old Town. And the last version is the Making Love version. If you're going to fuck, you listen to the Rod Stewart version. It's not my favorite version, but the ladies love it. Raspy voice, that gets them going. Gets me going. "I met my love by the gasworks croft. Dreamed a dream." If you're going to make love to a woman, you got to play the Rod Stewart version of Dirty Old Town. You can't play the Pogues version. When it gets to the third verse and Shane MacGowan's like, "I'm gonna make me a big sharp axe, shining steel, tempered in the fire. I'll chop you down like an old dead tree. Dirty old town." The Pogues version is probably my favorite version, although I do love the Luke Kelly version. But you have to admit, Rod Stewart's version is definitely the bedroom version. That Shane MacGowan guy, the lead singer of the Pogues, there's some people make you ashamed you ever thought you were even a hard drinker. And Shane MacGowan does that for me. I remember years ago, I would get hammered and I'd listen to the Pogues. And one night I just started listening to some of his fucking interviews, and he is a fucking maniac. There's an interview of him on the Late Late Show or some shit like that. He's basically calling Sinead O'Connor a cunt. He's walked out on stage. He can barely lower himself into a fucking chair. He's completely fucked. He's got no teeth too. His teeth are gone. He looks like a full-blown junkie. And they interview him for like 20 minutes. He can barely string a sentence together. Although he's fucking hammered, you can tell he's more articulate than 98% of the fucking population. Anyway, towards the end of the interview, they show that Shane MacGowan's fucking parents are in the crowd. So the interviewer goes out there and starts interviewing his mum and dad about his drinking and his drug use and all this trouble he's getting into. Apparently, Sinead O'Connor was at his house and he pulled out some heroin and started doing some lines of heroin. And then Sinead O'Connor went to the police and fucking ratted him out. And he's like, she went to the police station and they're all me mates. So this interviewer asks his dad a question about his drinking and drug taking. And his dad's like, listen, I don't want to talk about his private life. What I want to talk about is his genius. The man's a genius. And the interviewer is in full agreement. There's no argument. This guy is a fucking peerless genius. And then the camera shoots back to Shane MacGowan on the chair next to the interview table, and he can barely hold his head up. He's got no fucking teeth. He looks like he should be holding a squeegee and cleaning windows at the traffic lights. And then I wanted to watch more interviews with Shane MacGowan, so I typed in drunk interview Shane MacGowan, and pretty much every interview he's ever done in his life was drunk. There's some where he literally can't lift his head up. And then I typed in Shane MacGowan sober interview, and I think there was one, and I obviously didn't watch it. Who gives a fuck? But I think he's still going strong. I think he got in trouble recently for fucking breaking the COVID-19 curfew so he could record an album. I think he's in a wheelchair too. But that guy is one of those guys that you just wouldn't even bother telling them about your past heroics. He'll just be like, shut up, you fucking amateur hour, get the fuck out of here. Shane MacGowan's one of them. Lemmy from Motorhead, he's another one. Even in my best days, in my prime, when I was fit, I reckon I could have hung in with these guys for maybe like a week. And they did it for 4 fucking decades. Lemmy's dead now, rest in peace, but fuck. He left no stone unturned. Neither has Shane MacGowan. Even like a Doug Stanhope, comedian Doug Stanhope, one of the greatest comedians ever, one of the biggest boozers ever. Just been going 40 years. I just don't know how you do it and still produce work. I just don't know how you get anything done. You would have to be a fucking genius to overcome all that shit. Anyway, that was another Saturday chilled out podcast because no one really listens on a Saturday, so I do what the fuck I want on a Saturday. But go listen to Dirty Old Town. Go listen to the 3 versions. If you're going out tonight, before you leave the house, play the Luke Kelly version on YouTube, Dirty Old Town. That will fire you up. That will be like, yeah, we're going out there. We're going to fucking conquer some shit. Then at about 1 a.m., 2 a.m., get the Pogues version on. And then if you're lucky enough to have pulled a lovely lass, get home, flick on Rod Stewart's version of Dirty Old Town and make some sweet, sweet love. It's only 5 minutes long, so you should be done well before the end of the song. Alright, that's it for tonight. See you the fuck later.